Even the man again taking one more about this when I for video no was think that as me how my email on your banner. Because just like that video, very dark man that father na trend in social media. It was not Italian Makanyana we believe along the line ago something baby may one thing or the other. So this father was school Kumakia. Rev Father Chide Philip also that now for the sake of the child and the priest, stop sending your daughter or sons to live with priest in the parish rectory. In other words, the father name. Also for the sake of the child and for the priest, because Sabojazina Umazik Hajibileba. Now Gentike no why Ojiwe Kuya. Gentego Chantigo for Makino why Ojiwe Kuya. I'm a why Nje whip touch all these things is because most people find it difficult to ego head the lady, and most people now go to Hanara Agotasi. Always recently I watched a video of Very Dark Man where a Catholic priest was forcibly accused of wrongdoing simply because he welcomed a boy into his parish to help him. Thankfully, the truth eventually came out and his name was cleared. Still, I couldn't help but think of the emotional and spiritual trauma that comes from being wrongly accused, especially when all you wanted to do was to help. And we live in a society whereby anything that has to do with the church now go viral. Anything that has to do with the church honor can go viral, carry any other thing. Many people are, but that's true reporter. Many people ask monobim saying, I will not judge a priest and I will not judge any man of God. Also, so hang man and the Mahamaka we me panaboko. Because now Ibia so be news and the mother post about men of God. Many of us could have many of us are go by now. Because now when the truth about the whole thing will come out, it will no longer go viral. Can kiss swagger. Because now everybody now like bad news about church, men of God, pastors, and anything that has to do with God. People now like it come again, go viral very well. Can we more opportunity drag people into their own mess together. And I got so this father will continue when asking. Nobody is perfect. Priests are human. Families are human. Mistakes happen, but there is one mistake we really must stop making: sending our children to go and live permanently with priests for training to become priests. If you go to name convocation able father, you should go for discernment to pray along with you, not to go and live with the person. You conclude the way that there are so many people in the father train and the father no. They ended up not becoming a priest, ended up becoming a priest. So now he's trying to balance it in other ways that now again and the father see and the mother and the father be busy now. Or see this, the rectory is not a seminary. The priest house is not a boarding home, and the priest is not a substituted parents. Yes, children can visit occasionally. They can receive guidance, support, mentorship, but living permanently in a priest house is not healthy, not wise, and not safe spiritually or emotionally. That is what he's saying. In order to avoid this, no safe both spiritually and emotionally. In other words, somebody believe with you that kind of prayer you can pray. Somebody believe with you that kind of prayer you can pray. And the room may decide to for the sake of one you will be tempted to do something. And what are those things, Kosiaga? And honestly, I don't even want to blame any priest. In our culture, it is difficult to say no to relatives and parishioners. There is pressure, there is expectation, there is the desire to help. Sometimes priests accept simply because refusing could cause misunderstanding or offense. That is what you say from the beginning, that these people are human beings. But we need to know this. Priest life is a battlefield, spiritually, emotionally, sometimes even physically. priests fight battle daily, many of which the public never sees, and when the enemy cannot strike them directly, he can attempt to strike through the people closest to them, including the young people living under their roof. Ebigum na church, amame this one on amame very 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 well. The pastor I be in a church yamba instructed us to be praying on every Friday. I name all night for complete 1 year. Whether no can normal in the church, normal church, most Pentecostal church all night every last Friday of the month. Man, I also in as much as you are living in that compound, there is all night every Friday. For 1 year in be that place. For 1 good year, another call your mother call. If you get that is how he designed nature or a poor. That is how he designed it to look like. Because no bona with area, he went ending on a cokia. And it will be so bad that in a say, hey, you can be pastor. After one day, I paralyze ya. Am I gonna pass the diligia gologo? Am I gonna all those kind of things? They are very, very funny conscious of this thing. On is the thing Kebana is only is. Yotago. On is the Kebana is only is a true life story. Always say, beyond the spiritual reality, there are also human risks, scandal, misunderstanding, false accusation. If you go those things, false accusation, emotional dependency. If you go that in abuse of trust, you gotta go broken boundaries, and yes, really dark stories that never should have happened, including you gotta go that kind of thing. Even where there is no wrongdoing at all, the appearance of impropriety is not enough, is enough to ruin reputation and destroy life. One careless rumor is enough. One manipulated story is enough. One emotional attachment taken the wrong way is enough. How many times have we heard of father's boy or father's daughter we are unhealthy attached, confession of roles or spiritual manipulation creeps in? This is not about attacking priests or family. It is about protecting everyone. The rectory is not a private house for experimentation with boundary. It's not a private house for experimentation with boundaries. It belongs to the church, and the church must protect priests and children alike. Honestly, our diocese need to regulate this culture more strictly. There should be rules, clear rules. No minor living permanently in a rectory, no formal training to become a priest, no blood relationship. If your son or daughter is meant for priesthood or religious life, there are seminaries and approved formation houses. There are structured environments with trained formators, not private living room with constant visitors, spiritual duties, and unending pressures. Let me speak directly to parents. If you currently have a child living with a priest, bring that child home. It is the year. Bring them back to their house, their normal childhood. Some environments are simply non-pen for growing vulnerable hearts, because the truth many won't say out loud is this: living in a priest rectory, sometimes child come out wounded, some come out good, some live confused about faith, some even walk away from God, some become atheists, and some lost respect for priesthood and the church entirely. Support priests, love priests, respect priests, but don't turn the priest house into a boarding school or a long-time lodge for your child. Protect your children, protect the priest, protect the church. Sometimes the best way to help is to simply say thank you, but my child will stay at home. It's a very important message to everybody. God,